Good evening, all of you, and welcome to another session of IAK Talks. Today, we have come up with a new topic to clarify the questions and concerns of the parents, mainly about the NEET MBBS admissions process in India. This webinar is mainly to help the NEET aspirants, especially the NRIs, who are seeking admission in various government, private, and other medical colleges in India. As you all know, to get admission into MBBS program, students have to appear for the NEET examination, National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. But there are a lot of questions and concerns on how it works. What are the eligibility criteria? What about the marks? What are the fee structures? How about the whether deemed universities or private universities, or many concerns are there. So today we have with us some experts to talk about this admission process and clarify all your doubts. We have with us Mr. Ajay Padmanabhan. He is the CEO of Career Links Academy from India. We also have Mr. Jaffer from Career Link Academy. Welcome, Mr. Ajay and Jaffer, to the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Ajay, we have received a lot of questions from our readers. Mainly, as I told, all these questions are about their concern on how the admission process works. What are the eligibility criteria? What are the marks? So I welcome you to brief about all these concerns to our readers. Mr. Ajay.
Sure. Shall I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Dear parents, dear children, thank you all for joining. Indians in Kuwait, Mr. Sunoj, thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I think, you know, the kind of reach and connect you have with the Indian diaspora over there, it is, IIK becomes the apt choice for us to reach out to them. The session is going to be very informative. That's one thing which I can promise. So how does it? Yeah. So quickly, you know, today's agenda, there is an introduction quickly for 10 minutes. We'll talk about Link India Education, who we are, what we do, what's our experience. Career Links Academy, I mean, I don't get to see such wonderful audience every day. So I'll take 5 minutes to explain, you know, what we do at Career Links Academy. The main crux will be the presentation, which will be of 30 minutes, where we'll talk about how to decode NEET. We'll, you know, run through all those numbers in the past and current numbers, cutoff marks. I can agree, you know, with the kind of questions what's been forwarded to us. We know this is oh, it looks very simple, but it's a bit complicated for a lot of parents and children. Sometimes, you know, stressing also. So the idea is, let's, you know, break the myths around whatever are there. And 1 minute, I'll just adjust the screen. Great. So before we get into the presentation, let me make very clear that, you know, NEET qualified candidates can only secure admissions in India. We had so many questions where people wanted to know that, is it possible to? Sorry, it's not possible. If you're looking at taking admissions in India or abroad, and with the intention of coming back and practicing in India, you need NEET. Without NEET, you cannot practice in India. Even if you go abroad, you cannot come and write those necessary exams, which I'll explain in the coming slides. And the last part will be a Q&A for 20 minutes. We will not open the mic. We will have all those questions. You can type it. As and when the presentation goes on, you can keep typing your doubts, and I'll take it at the end of it. Mr. Sunoj mentioned about a lot of questions being received, which actually they are very kindly passed on to us. And we have tried to address most of those through this presentation. So let's jump into the main presentation. So who we are, Link India Education, 20 years of experience in professional education guidance and consultancy. Our specialization is medical undergraduate and postgraduate admission guidance and consultancy. For the last 20 years, we are there in GCC region. We have got representative offices and offices in Dubai and various parts of the country. We are just a call or a person away from any kind of support what we can actually provide you. What makes us your preferred career advisor? Because whatever we speak are from the experience of last 22 years, and it's not an easy task learning all these things, because as a parent I'm sure many of it have gone ahead and done so much of research on about the admissions, about the colleges, everything. So you can imagine that what kind of knowledge and experience we have accumulated in the last 20 years. So that is all there available today, being shared with you. What keeps us going is the trust amongst the parents, children, as well as the medical institutions where we help students to take admissions. And we just don't do admissions alone. We actually go beyond that. Coming slides, I'll be explaining most part of that. Our USP will be, hassle-free admission process if you choose to go ahead and take our services, which is not mandatory at all. Admissions provided only in accredited and affiliated institutions, and I'll explain what's the process and how do we identify institutions. And let's say I skip to the next slide and explain more in the coming slide. This organization is led by Mr. Muhammad Riju. He's an engineer by qualification. Last 22 years he's been in the domain, specializing in admission guidance and consultancy. And trust me, he's someone who's well known to most of the institutions. Plethora of references we'll be providing to you, if you require any kind of services. Hundreds of thousands of parents and children, actually. To his credit, he has helped almost 5,000 people, I'll say doctors, get this admission. And today there are either they are practicing or some of them are studying, but that's the kind of expertise and experience he brings. Not just UG, he also has almost helped around 2,000 doctors secure admission in PG courses. So this is Mr. Riju Muhammad, who has founded this organization. He has also founded an organization called Career Links Academy, which I'll take 5 minutes to update you on what this organization is. So if you ask me what's special about this organization, I'll say that the very reason why this was founded was actually feedback in all these years from worried parents and troubled parents and children in the GCC region, where they come to India, the kids are not able to adapt, and all those challenges make them so difficult that they cannot focus on the exam. So we decided to address those pain points for parents and students by creating a 32-acre campus, where it's an ultra modern campus with all the kind of facilities, guidance, coaching, tuition, school admission, all under one roof actually. And then it has got world-class facilities and faculties, premium campus and infrastructure. India's first fully residential medical coaching academy exclusive for NRIs. A safe and secure 32-acre campus located at Trivandrum. It's just 35 minutes away from the airport. When I say Trivandrum, don't worry, it's not just for Malayali kids. It's for, we have got kids from various countries, speaking different languages from different states. Sorry, from India, living in different countries, but originally from different states and speaking different languages. Not an issue at all. We have a result-oriented approach. I'll just take a minute to explain what that is actually. So we have got teachers from all over the country who comes and teach here, help students prepare for the NEET exams. And these teachers, most of them have been teaching for years and they specialize in various subjects. So when it comes to teaching the syllabus, our teachers are domain experts. Let's say somebody who teaches thermodynamics is not the one who's going to teach everything in physics. He only teaches that topic. So somebody who's taking organic chemistry is going to take only that. Ray optics, separate one. That means it's not one teacher who's going to teach all the subjects. Two, we give those regular coaching facility which everyone gives. But in addition to that, what we also do is, we have got resident faculties in the campus who ensure that kids have time. To most of the kids don't open up if they are not doing great in the class. Fear of shame, fear of speaking in public. So we make sure that these are the avenues created where children can speak to the teachers separately. Resident faculties are accessible to the children till 12 in the night, so anytime they can come and speak to the teachers. And we have got limited batches. It's all fully air conditioned classrooms, smart classrooms, highly experienced faculties from leading coaching institutes in India. We have got where we teach about fundamentals, clarity, time management techniques, all those things, a comprehensive coverage of syllabus. In addition to this, we also support the students with mathematics, because most of the students who go actually and take biology and opt for those physics, chemistry and biology as a subject and not maths, they take a huge beating when it comes to scoring in physics and chemistry. So we don't teach the entire syllabus of mathematics, what comes in 12th and 11th. What we do is we take those portions which are critical for your kids to actually do good in physics and chemistry, and ensure that those mathematics chapters are covered widely, fundamentals are strong, and this enables the kids to actually perform well. Also, while teaching, we also make sure that kids we map the kids the children's strength, and try to understand that where they are weak, where they are strong, and try to build on their strength, as well as try to improve those areas which they are currently weak, which basically aims at scoring good marks, which will ensure that maybe as a parent you will probably end up paying less fees in case the child doesn't make to the government or central government or state quota seats actually. So following are the 4 courses what we offer. We offer intense crash course. We have got vacation and foundation classes for 10th and 11th, which basically means that after 10th the children can come and study in our campus, prepare themselves for 11th. It's not about covering all the chapters, it's about how to study, how to understand, how to focus on the subject, how to divide the subject into various categories. Broadly, it's about how to study. That's what we do. And then we have got a repeaters program, and the main program what we have is a fully integrated +1 and +2 plus tuition plus NEET coaching school, all under one roof. Where, so if some of the parents who are currently thinking about because of the uncertainties about coming back to India and worried about discontinuing their child's education, you could actually connect with us. You can join our online classrooms. We'll take admission for your children in the schools here, and we will have a seamless transition when they move to India. Once things improve, they can come and join our hostels and stay over here. So we have got well-stocked library, 55,000 question bank, intense coaching. These are all some of our salient features. When it comes to facilities, buffet dining, menu that changes every week. These are all actual images of our students in the 2019 batch. This is the kind of room. It's a 3-star facility, literally. Spacious twin sharing, separate study tables, storages, attached bathroom. This was the exact point which I was trying to speak some time back, that how children from GCC come to India, go to various coaching centers, and they're not able to adapt. Where initially they call parents and say that they want to go back, then somebody comes and consoles them, and then eventually it so happens that one of the parents comes down and stays with them, take an apartment nearby. So this campus and Career Links Academy will help your child in all those aspects, which means there is support staff, full-time warden, security, housekeeping, ironing of clothes, washing of utensils, everything, laundry service is all taken care by us, which means the child can only focus on studying. And in an environment where most of the students are like them, NRIs from GCC, they are able to connect well, adapt well. So if you ever have a thought of moving your children back to India, this is one place where we could help them with the finest coaching and admission guidance. In addition to that, we keep track of the administrative aspect, where teachers are informed, the parents are informed about the feedbacks from teachers, from school, all those marks, exams, everything is tracked and parents are kept updated. And when it comes to applying for NEET, we make sure that we are the ones who fill the forms for you. That means our experts who have been doing this for years will not commit some of those mistakes which can actually cost you or your child that seat, which is like highly valuable. So thank you so much for listening to me on this Career Links Academy. Let's get into the crux of why we are here today. So let's start on NEET. Just to give an idea of what's happening, let's look at some of those numbers and information out here. So more than 15 lakh candidates have registered themselves for the NEET 2020, and out of that, 78,058 are the additional number of students who have joined this year than last year. That's a 5.13% of increase. Out of which 80 to 85% candidates have actually appeared in the have appeared. This is a number quoted by the minister where despite the corona and all those fear and everything, parents and children brave to actually reach the centers and take the exams. I know it has been quite challenging for some of you. Also, what has changed this year is 10,000 new medical seats have been added. So in addition to the 65,000 seats, roughly 65 which is there, we have 10,000 more seats. The AIIMS and JIPMER exams, which are conducted separately, are not going to be conducted separately from this year onwards. You will have the same NEET marks which will be applicable to these premier institutes also. Now, NEET scores matters the most for the medical admission in any medical colleges, either in private or government in India. It also matters most for the medical admission in any foreign medical college where the child has to come back and take a FMG exam. FMG is Foreign Medical Graduate Examination, which is basically when you study abroad, come back in India, you have to take those exams to practice in India. Now, some of you parents who are thinking about sending your children abroad, if you think some point of time in life they are going to come back to India and they have to practice, then please ensure they take NEET, qualify, and then go. If you think it's fine, they are going abroad, going to get settled there, get married, start a family, never going to come back to India, then no worries, NEET is not a problem for you. But if coming back to India is one of your item to be ticked in the bucket list, please make sure that you take the NEET test. So many parents have been asking these questions, whether it is mandatory to take NEET if they have to go abroad. Some have even asked that, whether it is necessary to actually, is NEET mandatory for getting admissions in India. Let me just add something over here. While this admission season, that fever catches up, parents will be approached by many people who will say that, we can do some shortcuts. Without NEET, we can probably get you an admission, do some adjustment in marks, do some adjustment in, fees. Trust me, don't fall into any of those traps. Today, MCI has actually, and Government of India has taken many initiatives to ensure that this is a transparent, very clear process. That means nobody can change the marks, nobody can change the fees, nobody can, do any adjustment. So if anyone's approaching with you those kind of promises, trust me, you are actually talking to some, getting into some kind of scam. Now let's take a look at where are all these numbers coming from. So the 15 lakh students, what I mentioned, actually Maharashtra has got the highest chunk, then Uttar Pradesh, then Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and this year we have a good representation from Jammu and Kashmir also. Thanks to the central government's initiatives, more kids are able to come forward and write the exams. So this is basically the chunk of the population where they come from. Gender-wise performance, see, this year's numbers are not available. So what I've decided is, I'll just to give you a flavor of how these numbers look like. I've taken last year's number, split it up for your understanding. I know many of you parents have already, done all this research. In today's session, we actually have parents whose children are yet to write the 12th exam. They are in 10th, 11th, 12th and all. So this is for the benefit of them also. This is the number of registered students appeared, absent, qualified. Almost a lakh of students missed the exams last year. cross section of data and percentage. So this is the percentage of unreserved. It is around 5,34,000. That they constitute the 35% of the qualified students. Then it is the SC, then ST, OBC. They are one of the largest, student population, 44.59 percentage. These are the number of cities where it was conducted, number of languages, number of centers, number of rooms, and of course, thanks to all those wonderful invigilators this year who actually are much more than last year's number, who also cooperated and made sure that this exam happened. So I mentioned that this year there was a 5% increase. If you look at vis-a-vis last year and the year before, there was a 14.52% increase in the number of students. Number of candidates present, 92%, who were absent after registering, 7.15%. Out of the Indian nationals were almost 99%. You have got then NRIs, then you have got OCIs, PIOs, and even foreigners actually. This is a constitution of, I'll say, the numbers, the total cross section. This is how it looks like. NEET eligibility, again, people who have written exams this year, not for you. I know you have taken all those clarity. This is for parents who has got children who are not in 12th, but early classes. So the candidate must have completed 17 years. Candidate must have passed your 10+2 with science stream, physics, chemistry. For a general unreserved category, you should have 50% marks. For the reserved category, it is 40%. Candidates who have registered, candidates who have studied abroad not on Indian boards, for them, physics, chemistry, biology, or biotech, and English up to 12th standard, and it should be 50% and should be determined by the Association of Indian Universities, who will say that whether those marks are acceptable in those parameters. So category wise NEET cutoff score. See, this is one thing which keeps bothering, in a state, in a central, in management, in NRI categories, what is the cutoff? So if you look at the qualifying cutoff for actually the general category is 50 percentile, which is 134 and above, and OBC is 40 percentile. Unreserved and physically handicapped is 45 percentile. OBC and physically handicapped 40 percentile. SC and physically handicapped 40 percentile. So some of those categories actually, like let's say you are in a general category, and then you have a certain mark, and then when you applied for counseling, you found that you may not have got it in a college which you were thinking about, because in the unreserved category your ranking is, though you are in the good marks, but ranking is a bit lower. So probably if you again then use your OBC marks, it may so happen that probably you will end up getting a good college. So be very clear that all those details about those colleges and this combination, permutation and combination for the various reserve categories and unreserved categories. If not, we are there to help you. Category of seats NRIs are eligible for. If I ask this one question, there are 4 categories: central, state, management, and NRI category. If I asked the parents how many categories a NRI parent or child can apply for, trust me, you will get all kinds of rainbow answers. Every number will be probably counted, because most of the parents are not aware that an NRI candidate is eligible to apply in any category. If the kid has got excellent marks, let's say around 650 and above, the chances are, anything closer to 700, the chances are they can get an admission in the central quota. And the central quota, the fees is only 25,000 rupees a year. Then something around 650, 600 above, which is the state quota. So these kids are eligible to go for the state quota depending on their parents' nativity. If 2 parents are from 2 different states, they are eligible for both actually. And then the third category is the management quota, and then the NRI quota. So what's the difference? One of the primary difference is actually the cutoff marks, and second is the fees. Fees varies extensively for all these categories. So the breakup and the challenges. The NEET result is the basis for admission to all medical seats, which I mentioned earlier. Seats under All India quota is around 15% of total government seats. The admission under 15% will be done through centralized counseling conducted by Medical Counseling Committee. And then the 85% rest of that is in the state quota. Some of those North Indian states like Gujarat, Punjab, and a couple of other have got in this 85%. Part 4 NRI seats are also there in that. And then you have the private colleges and deemed to be universities. So if you look at any of those private and deemed to be universities, out of 100 seats, you will be eligible. 15 seats are kept aside for NRIs. Not mandatory, but this is an average pattern what you have seen. Now, this is what I mentioned the last bullet point. 85% are repeaters, re-repeaters, or re-repeaters. Let me take a couple of minutes to explain this. A lot of parents actually are thinking about, I'm sure with the answer keys out there, many institutes have published that, and you would have sat with the child and looked at those numbers, and more or less you have an idea of what kind of marks they are going to score. And the reason why I'm saying this with all this seriousness is, based on what I say in the next 4-5 minutes, I would request you to base your judgment on going ahead and taking a seat this year at a higher cost, lower cost, merit, less merit, or repeat next year or the year after that. Now, let me come to the crux. Every year, the people who actually secure the topmost ranks, 85% of them are either repeaters, re-repeaters, or re-repeaters. Let me explain. Somebody who has got around 550 marks says, can I try one more time? And instead of paying a management seat, can I go for a state seat? Somebody who gets around 600, but not at a very good college, says that, can I try one more time and go for a better college in my state? But someone who's actually had, after 2 attempts or 3 attempts, where they find that they have now something around 650 or 660, then they say, with this mark, some more effort next year, I could probably go for a central government seat. Now, there are students who are actually there with the kind of mark 680, 690, or closer to 700. These are some of these people who will probably be thinking, someone in 690 or 680, can I score something closer to 700 and go for colleges like AIIMS or JIPMER? That means every year the number of students who are joining the race keeps increasing, and this increasing cross section of students, a large chunk who qualify, have been probably preparing for their first, second, third, fourth times actually. That means your kid is going to be in the race, getting into a race with all these people who have spent considerable amount of time. If there are some 65,000 or with this current update on numbers, there are some 80,000 seats. But if you go to any big coaching institute where they have like 30-40,000 students, everybody promises you that we'll get you a child admission in merit. That itself defies the logic, because there are only 80,000, and let's say if it is state wise, there are states which has got some 1,000 or 1,500 seats which are merit seats, and there will be like 5 or 6 big institutes, and they will have each 20,000. That means, and everyone is promising your child a merit seat. So you will have to apply your mind and find out that all those students who are actually in the front page of some of those newspapers with their photos and all, you'll have to think how many years probably these kids would have actually prepared. And you are actually going to put your kid in the same institute, thinking, he will be probably in the papers next year in the front page, smiling photo. It's possible, but you'll have to see that what is the competition at the other side. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's not demotivating, but I'm just trying to say that, please get rational. That means if any of the kid actually has scored around 200 marks or 220 marks, and then you are saying that, let's prepare for 1 year and prepare for improving the marks, you land at 300, 400, 450, 500, you are still in the same category which you was in the previous year. So there is no point wasting that 1 year and preparing that. But if you think for some reason the kid has probably not well, some tragedy or some unfounded thing, for some untoward reason, the kid was not able to, somebody who's very bright and not been able to take an admission, score good marks, go ahead and do that repeat part. But otherwise, don't lose an year and get into race with another 70, 80,000 people who are going to be a bigger competition for you. So who are eligible for NRI category? This is again, we had so many questions, so I put it specifically over here. So there are two ways to look at it. One is a direct category, another one is a sponsorship route. So students who have studied outside for till class 12th in outside India, you are eligible. Children of parents working abroad, either father, mother, or both. Students whose real brother, sister is working abroad, yes. The NRI sponsorship route will be real brother, sisters of father, real brother, sisters of mother, grandparents, paternal, maternal, whichever, first degree paternal, maternal cousins. But in the second category, you will have to make sure that they are earning members. That means you cannot say that, my sister is married to a gentleman who is an NRI, who's the earning member in the family, then you may have challenges. So please ensure that, you are clear of all those nuances in that. And something what also you have to be very careful about is the documentation part. NRIs have to fill in another set of documents which proves their NRI credentials, and these are prescribed in very clear format by the Government of India. And you cannot get a letter which is in a very different format and they will not accept it. That means when you walk there for the day of the admission, and if the document doesn't match the stipulated criteria, you have missed that round one. And then it's not very easy to go and get a set of fresh set of documents within 3 or 4 days. So what should be the criteria for selecting a good medical college? One, it should be recognized by Medical Council of India. Two, it should be permitted by MCI. I'll give the difference between recognized and permitted. The medical college will be recognized and permitted to conduct classes probably for second year, third year, and fourth year, probably not for the fresh batch. That means you may end up choosing a college which probably don't have those prescribed qualifications, or there is some court case going on, or they are in a temporary this thing which will be renewed, or for a lot of medical colleges which are new, it takes time for them to actually get a solid track record based on which MCI gives them the recognition and permissions. Otherwise it will be tentative and things can go anytime southwards actually. You should also be mindful about the infrastructure, college, lab, and hostel. A lot of parents end up selecting colleges, and finally when they get the admission, then they realize that oh, this is not the kind of college I wanted, this is not the kind of hostel my kid will live, and you have a new set of problems. You are not able to adapt. You can count in your you need more than your both fingers to actually count all those problems what you will encounter. Then the quality of faculties are very important. Patient traffic and access. Access is a very critical word here. I'll tell you why. Some of those big medical colleges have got hospitals attached to it, and the hospitals are very famous. That means the students may not have access to the patients the way it should be, like in a government medical college or a central government medical colleges, where they get fairly good exposure. Whereas in this private medical colleges, hospitals where the reputation is at stake, they may not want any kind of trouble where a student does something, and so the experience and the exposure to the student will be sometimes compromised. But without knowing all these aspects, just thinking that, you know, this is a big uh, institution, you know, you may probably actually go ahead and take that admission. Our services, if you choose to go ahead with us, you know, that will be, one will be a hassle-free admission process. I'll explain what is an hassle-free admission. This is how it starts. First you apply. You will have to, you know, make sure that you're filling the forms correctly. All those details given, you know, when nationality is chosen, it is not Indian, it is NRI. When there is correction window opened, if you have made any mistake, you should correct that. Then comes the hall ticket, then the exam centers, and then parents come down from abroad, take the children to write the exams, then they go back, then wait for the results to come. Once the results are out, then they will have to, you know, fill up those criteria for college selections. So it so happens that, you know, with the limited knowledge of colleges in a particular state or a location, you may end up filling up, you know, the kind of colleges which probably the kid with the kind of marks and fees may not be eligible. That means you're going to round 2, and round 1 is where you get all the best colleges. So make sure that, you know, that happens. So once the admission process, sorry, before that, if you are going to Karnataka and all, then you will have to get your certificates registered, verified before you actually go to, yeah. Yeah, you have to verify your certificates before counseling, and only after that you can apply for the counseling and, you know, choosing of those colleges. So it so happens that when you make the choice of the college, you will have to understand that more or less parents are looking at the same big names, and, you know, they are applying there. You can make as many selections as you want, but if you are not making the right selections, you may end up with kind of colleges where you're not very sure that, you know, because when you go and look at the list, it is just the name and, you know, the college name and the location. You may not have much details about that. And if you haven't done, you know, fairly good research, and your child ends up in one of those lists, trust me, it's going to be, you know, not a happy situation. So yeah, I was talking about the number of times parents have to come. Once certificate verified, then counseling, and then in successful counseling ends up in an admission, and then you have to go for admission. That means the parents probably have to come 3 or 4 times in a span of 2 to 3 months. And if round 1 doesn't work, then you have to go to round 2. So at Career Links Academy, we will take care of all these aspects for you. We will do the, you know, counseling, sorry, we will start with helping you filling up the form. We'll make sure that we take the kids for the examination in various centers. We also make sure that when the results are out, you know, we do the certificate verifications in consultation with you. You know, we choose those selection of colleges, all those things properly done, and then you know, finally you will come to India for admission. You know, go to the college with your kid and go for the admission. We will make sure that all other aspects related to your admissions are taken care. Yeah, so guidance for admission based on need score, merit, management, and NRI seat. See, if the kid has got 650 plus kind of marks, you don't have to worry about any of those things, because the there is no hassle, because you fill up those choices and then you get those state or central. The whole permutation combination starts when you actually have to look into the merit, sorry, the management and NRI seats. That is where someone like us who comes with 20 years of experience is, you know, we know most of these colleges which gives admission through management and NRI categories. A particular mark which works in Kerala, you know, for management, if you are less than that, probably, you know, you will not get that management seat in Kerala. But with the same mark, probably we can get you an admission in a nearing state in Tamil Nadu or in Karnataka. So, or, you know, you have a, you know, you have the option of NRI seat, which is a, you know, quite high cost actually. Just to give you a flavor of the seats, NRI seat starts anywhere between 21 lakhs and 36 lakhs. And then there are some of these colleges which charge only for 4.5 years, 4 years, or 5 years. You may not know. So if the package is, let's say, 35 into, you think that it will be 35 into 4, it will be probably 35 into 5. So you end up giving that. There are some colleges where if the kid probably fails in one of those papers, that means they cannot go to the next year. Some colleges, I'm not saying all the colleges, some colleges actually charge you 50% of your first year fee for failing in the first year. And then you will also have to pay the second year because the kid is already in the second year. So all these nuances which could get into those unprinted, there are some colleges where despite the fees announcement for the first year, there is a second year and third year percentage growth on the fee. So that's not visible anywhere. So we will make sure that we will give you all those kind of fine print or non-visible information which normally a normal parent cannot identify or find out. We will also make sure that with your kind of budget and marks, we will see that with lowest fee at the best institution, based on those scores actually. And if you're an NRI candidate, we could help you with our extensive experience of understanding how which college, where, what kind of admission process happens. We could guide you to those colleges which are very good, and your child can still have an admission with low marks. So everything is knowledge. There is no admission. Nobody can do any kind of shortcuts or adjustment for you which doesn't work. We will basically guide you with our knowledge and expertise which is built over the last 22 years. Our services, again, details of academic climate, patient traffic, I mentioned all these things. We'll provide you with all those information before agreeing on to the list of colleges. Information on quality of education, hostel facilities. A lot of NRI parents actually are stuck with colleges for their children where they find that the kids refuse to actually even go and join classes. Again, the same process, where one of the parents comes down, takes an apartment nearby, stays with the children, and then there are cities where you get admission in a kind of remote city, where as an NRI you will have to take one flight to the big city, then to a smaller city, then probably drive in a car for 300 kilometers. And now imagine the same, when the kid has to go back for vacation or come back, they will have to actually go through this entire process. So we'll help you with the locations of the institutions, making sure that it is a hassle-free experience for you and your child. When I say this immunity from ragging and local support, please understand that raggings are banned in colleges, but we all know that at some level, some kind of intensity, raggings happen. Now, the confidence in which we say that ragging will not happen to your child, because in the last 20 years we have done admission given admission, helped students with admission to almost 5,000 of them, and some of them are practicing, some of them are currently still in colleges, who've been helped by their seniors and those seniors helped by their seniors. That means when we send your student to one of those colleges, we'll make sure that they may probably have a guardian angel looking for them, looking after them over there. So that's one side. Second is the local support. I'm sure most of you, when you send your kids there, you will definitely put a very responsible, friend or relative as a local guardian. But we, from our side as a consultant, we take the relationship forward and make sure that, we keep updated you about your child's performance in the institution. We are well connected with most of those medical colleges, and we can always get you the attendance details, the marks, the exam numbers, all those things. But sometimes kids are very smart, and present generation is quite smarter. They can actually keep you actually for a long time in dark. So we'll make sure that all those information reaches you in time, and in case of emergency or any kind of untoward situation, or even very meager things like traveling back to traveling abroad, going to the airport, somebody to pick them or receive them and drop them, making sure that all those aspects, because you are not living in India, you're living somewhere very far away, thousands of miles away. So this is part of the peace of mind value addition what we offer for these parents and students. not only we take this forward because once a students comes into our process, we not only guide them to the MBBS, we also make sure that they actually go to they make the right choices in the post graduation. There are new aspects coming in when it comes to post graduation. There are two new developments. One, in the coming years they are going to start something called next exams. Earlier, after fourth year, a student will go to house urgency or internship, whatever you call, in the fifth year. But as per the new process, uh, the student has to take a exam called next, which is an objective test. And this test, if you pass, if you qualify, then only you can go for house urgency or your internship, which means that if you don't, then you are in serious trouble. And again, in the fifth year, after your house urgency, when you clear your exams, this next marks and your fifth year marks becomes the basis for your PG admission. That means government is planning to do away with the PG entrance test. So these are very critical aspects where we guide the children accordingly. Second is, last year Maharashtra has brought on a test basis around 10% quota. Okay, let me explain what is this 10% quota. There's the government spends around 1.5 to 1.75 crores every year for the meritorious students to actually make them a doctor in 5 years. That's the kind of money what government spends. And all these bright guys, boys and girls, they will actually become doctors, qualify, either go for PG or leave for greener pastures abroad, and they don't come back. Now, this is taxpayers' money which government is using to educate them, make into good doctors, and these good doctors, leave and do no service to this country. So this new 10% category as a test basis, what they have brought in is uh, they are putting a quota where if you choose this 25,000 or 48,000 small amount of fee and study at the government's expense and clear your MBBS, then you will have to go for a mandatory 5 years work with government. If you don't, three things happen. A, they cancel your degree. B, they will, there is an imprisonment. And C, there is a, financial penalty. All these three things happen. If you say, I'll pay the money and get out, sorry, there are other two things also happening along with that. So please be sure, sure that, this is the same module which the central government is now planning to bring, which means that there will be categories created for which if you opt, you will be taught completely free, almost free, but you will have to do this service. That means if you don't, serve the country after that for those stipulated 5 years or 7 years mandatory period after UG or PG, your degree gets cancelled. You cannot, you cannot practice after that. All those challenges are there. So these are the kind of challenges which are coming up. So we keep you abreast of all those changes which are happening. And now it comes to payment process. Let me tell you something. The colleges will announce the cost of fees very clearly as mandated by the Medical Council of India, the government stipulation. It's mandatory that they publish all the fees, the first year fees, which means, if anybody tells you at this college I can get you at a reduced price, you have to be careful of that. Two, there are no donations, no down payments, none of those circus which happened earlier. There are only published fees which you have to pay. And C, there is no adjustments to marks. There is, if you pay a little more, your marks will be adjusted, which is, if you haven't qualified in NEETs, please don't get into any of those scams, because such scams will not take you anywhere. Be very clear, deal with transparent people. This is, in couple of days, you will have the results out, and most of the parents will be approached with by various consultants, agencies. So a thumb rule which I normally tell everyone is, to ask them to give a minimum of 10 references. and and some seniors in whom they have admitted. Talk to them, find out, and then only connect with them and decide to go ahead with them. Should you actually choose to go ahead with us, what we can promise you is we'll give you not tens, hundreds of references. We actually say that, not arrogance. I'm just repeating that. We'll always find someone whom to whom we have given admission, because it's no small feat, helping around 5,000 doctors, 5,000 students getting into MBBS admissions. So we'll always be able to give you parents as well as students who are currently studying, who are passed out of the institutions, from somewhere close, either in your country or someone whom or in your circle. GCC with the Indian diaspora is not very big, and children who have gone for such kind of studies, the number of parents are small, and we'll definitely be able to connect you with parents and students. So if you're going ahead with anyone, at least ask for 10 references. Please make sure that without checking references, you don't decide on going ahead with anyone. And then we also associate with a lot of doctors and professional body associations in GCC, where for consistently last 10-15 years we've been providing service for their children actually. Q&A. So I think this is the part which I mentioned. We have already, yeah. So this is open to Q&A now. I'll just put another slide which contains our contact details. You can see the first number is our local contact in Kuwait. The second one is Mr. Jafar, my colleague who is already on the call. He's a panelist. Any doubt, leave him a WhatsApp message. You will get a call either from India or from Dubai, and we'll ensure that all your doubts are clarified. This is our landline number in Dubai office. We are a KHDA approved, government mandatory scrutiny, where we have gone through that entire thing and been certified by the UAE government. So it's a KHDA human resource department accreditation we have there. This is our email ID. This is our website. You can go and find information. There are contact boxes where you can write your information, what you require, and we'll get back to you. We promise to get back to you as soon as possible. So I'll keep the slide over here, and let me look at what are those questions which has come. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. One of the question is, is A levels with physics, chemistry, biology, 18-month duration is eligible for NEET entrance? You will have to write and get that confirmation very clearly. English is also must over there. Sometimes some parents say that they have studied, they have got credits. Please make sure that you write to the concerned authority and get the clarification. If you need anything, you can directly write to us. We'll be able to provide you that information. It's on a case-to-case basis. Is NEET compulsory to do MBBS abroad? Okay. If you are not planning to come back to India to practice, NEET is not compulsory for you. Do you currently have online coaching for the students appearing in 2021 exam? Okay, this is for Career Links Academy. Yes, we have. If you could kindly, share your number or give a call to Jafar and this number, or leave a WhatsApp message, we'll connect to you and we'll provide you all those information. Is a UK medical degree valid in India, and do you still have to write separate exams to practice in India after studying in the UK? Yes. Just because they are UK or America, it doesn't matter. You will have to come and clear that qualifying exams in India. And for you to write the qualifying exams in India, you will have to clear NEET when you go to write, take those courses. Any NEET center in GCC like what government has done for G? Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, we even filed cases on behalf of parents. We have knocked the High Court. We are planning to go to Supreme Court, but then government made it very clear that they will not be going with the centers in GCC. Unfortunate, but we'll keep fighting for that. What is the range 700 to 134? This is the 50 percentile. What is this range 701 to 134? This is the 50 percentile cutoff for general category. That means you are eligible to apply for any seats if you fall in this category. Last year, this 701 was the first rank holder. My child is scoring 595 marks in NEET 2020. What is the chance of getting admission in Kerala general category? General category, not in merit, but in the management category. Sorry, go ahead, Jafar.
No, I'm not talking about management quota.
Sorry. Okay, my child is so 595 marks in NEET 2020. The chance of getting admission in Kerala general category in government colleges is not possible if you're general category. Yeah, but this is a very good mark for actually getting admission into a management seat. Is a US degree valid in India, and do you have to write separate? Yes. Again, as I said, UK, US doesn't matter. What are the documents to be provided by NRI students at time of admission? This is proof and income certificate which you have to get attested from the embassy, and there is a certain format for that which you have to get it, which we can always help you, get one. NRI certificate.
Hello.
Yeah, Jafar has already answered that. NRI certificates on affidavit, sponsorship letter, and relationship certificate. Kindly provide your service fee details. Okay, this is IIHK's informative session, so I can't quote my fees here, but please feel free to reach out to us. We'll give you all those details regarding to the fees of our service charges. Actually, for the college fees, please don't call us. You can find out in the website. Each state has a different site to apply for admission. Could you please provide us with a list of such websites? Of course, we can do that. That is, if you just Google, you will get that information actually. Okay, I have this interesting question once again, whether NRI students are also eligible for management quota. Okay, I'll put it this way. You guys are in the top of the food chain. That means you can go for a central seat, you can go for a state quota, you can go for a management quota, as well as you can go for a, one second. NRI. For an NRI. So, you can go to anything. See, it depends on your marks. If you have great marks, you end up paying less fees. If your marks are not so great, you still want to be a doctor, there is a possibility. We can help you identify and map the best institutes, but the fees is quite high. It will be around 35-36 lakhs if you are looking at the Manipals and Amritas of the world, or the SRMs or the Ramachandra. These are quite high NRI fees over there. So that's one aspect. If you have got management moderately good marks, we can find out the apt college for you in either in a neighboring state or in the current state where you're looking at, now according to your marks. Do we need to select any specific category while filling up NEET? Yes, you will have to clearly identify what category you fall into, and if you have chosen a wrong one, the windows they open in between to make the necessary corrections. You can make those changes accordingly. Some more about NRI. Explain some more about NRI and management seat. Okay, these two seats we as parents or students look at when you don't make it to the cutoff for a state or central government quota. So if you don't fall into that, then the next best options of getting a seat this year will be either through management or NRI. A management seat comes at a reasonably good mark. In Kerala, 550 and close to 550. In neighboring states, it will be somewhere around 450 and above. see, every year the cutoff and number changes. So coming years, I mean, this one which we are talking about, which is going to happen only when, but the last years, these are the kind of numbers in which people have got admission. NRI seats are, all you need is the basic qualifying marks, and you can aspire to get an admission in any of the best colleges. Because there are 15 seats for every 100 seats. If you can pay that fee, we can ensure you that, with the qualified marks, you get an admission there. Do we need to have NRI status till my child completes? No, that is only when on the time of admission, they look at the criteria. Which are the deemed universities which publish their fee structure on their website? Everyone, not just deemed, private, government, everyone publishes their fees because that's mandated by the law. It's not a wish or it's not a favor somebody is doing by publishing or not publishing. By mandate, this is required that they publish their fees in advance. Good evening, sir. Are the NRI students still have to pay high fees even if they score above 550? See, if you're around 550, you get management seats, which means, around 7 lakhs to 7-8 lakhs will be the kind of fee you will end up paying for a management quota per year, not entire year, per year. And if you fall in one of those reserved categories, then 550 could actually land you admission in any of the state quotas actually. So 550 is a good mark. But as I said, 85% of the students with whom you are competing are repeaters, and repeaters. So the if you look at when NEET started and now, the number of the marks, the highest marks or the first rank holders marks has been consistently increasing. Which started at 600 is now at 701. So the competition and the toughness of this keeps increasing. So 550 is a good mark. I would suggest go for admission this year itself. Based on if you have got reserved categories, then you have a good chance for state seats. If not, you will at least get a management seat. I'll not be taking questions on BDS or veterinary or pharmaceutical because we have limited time, and I'll stick to the agenda of MBBS admissions. But you can always write to my colleague, and we'll provide you with those information. Do we need to select any specific category? 85% state quota. How is it distributed among all states? No. This is every state has got. Let's say we say there are thousands government seats in Karnataka. Just a random number. So out of that, 15% will be allocated through the central admission process, and 85% of the merit seats in the government colleges will be allotted by the state government. So it is not 85% state quota will be distributed equally in all states. No, for that state, if it is Kerala, then 85% of seats in government seats in Kerala will actually be filled by the state government. What is the lowest cutoff marks for admission in deemed universities? Can we just go back to this? Yeah, you can look at this numbers, cutoff numbers actually. If it is, the reserve category, then it's 107. But if it is general category, it's 134. For an NRI, you need just 134 marks to actually apply for NRI quota. So lowest cutoff mark for you will be 134. Can NRI student get admission in state quota or central quota where fees are affordable? Of course, yes. That's what I was trying to say. State quota and central quota, the fees are very meager. 25,000 rupees per year for central and 48,000 for a per year for the state. But if you are not hitting in those two categories, then your only options are management and NRI seats. Not 5 lakhs. It starts at around 7.5 lakhs. Yes, that's possible. I'm sure you can stretch that 2 lakhs. What's the difference between deemed to be university and state university? See, deemed to be universities are those which have a sound track record, and the government believes that they can take care of things on their own. They have system, process, practice, experience, knowledge, which means that as a quasi university they can function and award degrees. A state university is which the state constitutes, under which these universities come. Which guide is most preferred for preparing NEET? I don't know about the guide, but if you come to Career Links Academy, we'll ensure that you get good marks, you pay less fees, and you end up in a nice college. What was the cutoff marks in? Okay, what was the cutoff marks in CMC Ludhiana under NRI quota last year? This you can Google and find out. This is very specific information. But if you can write to us, we'll come back to you with that answer. I want to go and country us. How can you help? Okay, if I have to rephrase the question, I want to go out of the country and take MBBS course. How can you help? Sorry, we do admissions only in India. There are hundreds of consultants, who will help you going abroad. But I'll tell you something very interesting. When this foreign admission, that craze started some 15-20 years back or before that, you will not, at the current times, you will not hear those names at all. It was the Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Russia, and all those kind of places. And then it moved to Philippines, to China, to Nepal, to Bangladesh, all kinds of places. Now the new trend is Georgia. Nothing wrong with Georgia, I'm saying. But why is that, some of those old hot destinations are no more hot destinations now? The reasons being, only when you come to the 5th year, you will know the challenges. And then if you take that, qualifying exam, which, everybody has to take that, FMG, foreign medical graduate exam, it's only 10 to 15%, 14% people who qualify every year. That means, imagine you have spent your time in your head, you are a doctor, your parents think, your neighbors, your friends, everybody think you are a doctor, but you are not a doctor. Because you don't have a degree which is, acceptable in the to the Indian government, and you cannot practice in India. You can go back abroad anywhere and practice, but not in India. So that's one big problem. And so the attraction to these countries slowly start fading away when the 5th year comes. The first batch passes out, the second batch passes out, they face all kind of problems, and then this foreign advisors will tell you that don't look at that destination, we'll get you admission in Bangladesh has got similar curriculum like India. No, sorry. Okay, the kind of curriculum and the kind of exposure what you get in India, you don't get anywhere else. Just imagine, if your kids are going to pay some 3 or 4 lakhs, and there are 100 kids probably in a batch in this foreign university who's paying that kind of money, which is a private institution. Just imagine the quality of exposure those children will have. They will have those basic equipments. You go for a radiology equipment in one of these medical colleges in India, that cost in multiple crores. Okay, and on those kind of equipments, your children actually practice. Whereas if you go to this, exotic foreign countries, they will give you the cheapest equipments and which are probably not very up to date, current, or not in sync with the modern technology. I have nothing against foreign universities. There are many colleges in Western Europe, UK, Germany, Italy, and all, or even for that matter, Georgia and all, which has got amazing facilities. I'm saying how parents end up in the wrong places. If you do your proper research and find out all these aspects about those colleges, nothing wrong in going. But I'm talking about majority of students who have ended up in wrong places and then have come over here. And they are struggling. They can't do anything. Some of them are working in call centers. Some are into medical transcription, medical representatives, but they are not practicing as a doctor. So please make sure that, all these foreign admissions, what you have in mind, you base that on clear, informed decisions, not just because everyone is going and fees is cheap there, because cheap things at the end will cost you more. So make those judicious decisions in terms of, do you want to send your children to those colleges from where when they pass out they actually have new future. Is it better for student to move class 9 to avoid NRI? No, you don't have to avoid NRI. You can study there and you still don't have to choose it. That's all, if that is the question. So not a problem. And if the student is passing out in the 12th standard, that is good enough for him to be categorized as NRI. You don't have to be there for particular number of years. Management fee is different from NRI fees. Yes. Management fee varies anywhere between 7 lakhs to 21 lakhs. NRIs per year. NRI fees starts at around 20 lakhs and goes all the way to 35, 36 lakhs. This year we expect for it to go a little more higher. Do I need to clear NEET for physiotherapy courses? No. Where can we find list of state-based colleges that offer? Yeah, where can we find list of? See, you can find that in the MCI website. All those informations are there. For 2021, what type of crash course is available? Duration. Okay. Since you have asked this question, I'll just take 2 minutes to answer this. The kind of crash course which you get in most of the institutions is more or less same. You have got some 27 chapters in physics in 11th and 26 in 12th. Just add in botany, chemistry, zoology, 11th and 12th physics, all those, just put the number of chapters and then divide it by the 40-50 days of, after this year we were, I'll not say lucky, but we had that opportunity of an extended period. But otherwise, you hardly get 40 or 45 days. So in this 45 days, 8-hour classes, all this has to be crushed in. So if you go to any institute, what they do is they will every day give you a exam, mock exam. You write that, they will give you the keys, and then you get on with the class. You don't get chance to ask doubts. Because doubt clearing, this is not doubt clearing session, this is refreshing sessions. So you cannot ask any doubts and then you will have to go and prepare. So if you ask what do we do at CLA, we do it a bit differently. Every mock exam, after that we make sure that we run through the entire exam paper and clear your doubts so that all those mistakes you have made fresh in memory, you don't repeat. 2, like everywhere, we will not be able to clear doubts in the classroom, but ours is a fully residential program. Our teachers are available for long hours for you to approach them, sit with them, clear your doubts. As I was saying, a lot of kids, because of fear of shame or speaking in front of others, or the shame of saying that I didn't understand, probably they will never open up in the classes. So or in front of a group of students. So here we have this facility where we make sure that students can actually approach teachers individually and get their doubts clarified. Also, what we do is actually when the student comes initially, we give them exams and do a mapping of their strengths and weaknesses. And then on those strengths, we'll make sure that they score the best marks as much as possible. And then the weaknesses, we'll make sure that they cover at least a good amount of ground so that they don't lose out on marks. Our intention is to make sure that parents pay less fee, kids go to the best colleges, and that can happen only when you have got extremely good marks. So our focus is more on how to help you score more marks. So that is the kind of crash course what we offer, and this starts immediately 3 days after the exams are over. But we have a repeaters batch. If you're looking at a repeaters option, we have a repeaters batch which will go till just before the exams. Crash course 40 days and 50 days. Yeah, this is basically, we look at the number of days available between the last day of the exam and the NEET exam. No, it is okay. Somebody is asking me a question about nativity certificate in Tamil Nadu, and they're saying that they are not been staying there for 3 years. Sorry, it is not about 3 years. The parameters are very different for nativity certificate. Either you are from there, your parents are from there, you are lived there for number of years. Those are the kind of parameters which makes you eligible for a nativity certificate and a state seat. If you are away for 3 years, don't worry, nothing's going to change. KEAM windows are closed, so that is the only way to actually apply for medical entrance in Kerala. Sorry. So this Kerala admissions, I mean the KEAM registrations, the windows are closed. So I don't think you can go and change that now. My child is in 12th now and is supposed to appear 2020-21 NEET. So how can this academy in my help my child? Should we join in April for coaching or now? See, what we do in April is a crash course. But if you join now, we'll make sure that the child is fundamentally sound, conceptually clear, and they actually go and take the exams more confidently and with more clarity. If you have taken trial mock exams, you will find that out of the 4 answers, all the 4 answers look almost correct. So what you have to do is, from this almost correct kind of 4 answers, you have to find the best, the most correct answer. And that will come only when you actually prepare in advance. So if your child is in 12th standard, I'll say today is the best day to start preparation if you have not already started. Does duration of A level matter? On this A level, kindly clarify with the concerned board, because this every time comes up and there is always a new explanation. So I do not want to end up giving you a wrong answer for that. What is the date to fill up the form for NEET 2021? My dear parent, please wait. The dates will be announced and it will take some time. The immediate things what will get announced is for the PG admissions actually. Sorry, if you're looking for NEET PG, yes, it's coming around and we'll be happy to help you start from there. In first round of state counseling, if a student is denied for merit seat in second counseling, can we apply for? Yeah, that's allowed actually. That's not a problem at all. Suppose if we join in NRI quota and in between if I lose my NRI status. No, don't worry. On that day when the child is seeking admission, what is your status or the child's status? That is all what matters. Nobody will say that, till your child qualifies, you have to stay back in GCC and you cannot come back. Don't worry on those. What is the annual fee in private medical colleges, government seats? Okay, let me list it out once again. Central government quota, it's around 25,000. State government, it's around 48,000 in merit seats. If you go for management and NRI seats in private or deemed to be universities, management is anywhere between 7 lakhs to 21 lakhs, and deemed to be universities will be, for NRI seats in deemed or in the private will be anywhere between 20 lakhs and above till 36 lakhs. Yeah, private colleges and deemed to be universities have only, private medical colleges have only management and NRI quota actually.
Before the question, I think they were asking the annual fees in the private medical colleges government seats. I think to be clarified that the private colleges having only management quota and the NRI quota. No government quotas available in the private colleges.
Yeah. Okay, I just saw a question which says, MCA says that NEET is a mandatory for studying MBBS abroad, but you are saying not required. Please clarify. I said NEET is mandatory for getting admissions in India, in any medical colleges, in any category. If you are going abroad, you need a NEET, provided you are planning to come back to India and practice. Then you will actually have to take the FMG examination. For that, you should have taken the NEET exams earlier. I said you don't need a NEET exam marks for studying abroad MBBS if you don't want to come back to India and practice. If you don't want to come back and study PG in India, or you don't want to practice in India, then you don't need a NEET qualification. You can simply go ahead and do your MBBS there and go on with your life. No worries. Only if you want to come back to India, your NEET will become a critical aspect in whether you will be able to join PG or take up a profession.
Dear Mr. Ajay, thank you very much for your time. I think it's very useful for our audience because you clarified a lot of things, and I'm sure our readers got very lot of information. And we have some more questions. Mainly they are about your course fees and all the structures. But I'm sure your number is displayed there, so they can contact you directly.
Yeah, I'll just put that.
If you can number on the screen, that will be better for our readers.
Thank you so much, IIK, Mr. Sonoj. Thank you so much. We are happy to take these questions offline. You can write to us, reach out to us. The 965 number is for Kuwait, which you can reach out and connect to our friend over there. My colleague, Mr. Jafar, is there in Dubai. His WhatsApp number and call number is there. This is a number. You can always reach out. We are available. In 2 days, the results will be announced, and we know that it will be a frenzy. Our services are available. Please feel free to connect with us, and we promise to ensure that you end up in the best colleges according to the budgets and the marks, and your child has a great future. All the best to parents and children. Thank you so much. Thank you, IIK. You guys been very kind. Thanks for all the support. Thank you, Jafar and the team who
Thank you.
helped
Thank you
us
so much.
together.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all our readers. I'm sure you must have got benefited from this session. He clarified a lot of concerns about the NEET and admission procedure. And thank you all once again. And we will come up with a similar webinar in the coming days. Just keep watch on IIK. And thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Good night. Thank you, parents.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All done? You can leave the meeting?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.